What's going on YouTube? My name is Alan, and today's short video I'm going to show you guys how to get the oil filter out on the Porsche 718 Cayman S. And this is all 718s, not just the S, but mine is anyway. So I think everybody knows that this is a very difficult filter to access, but there's some things that you can do to make it a little bit easier, and so I'm going to show you guys how to do that. So if you're looking for the full oil change video, I've already done one, and I'll link that like somewhere here. And this is just going to be how to get the filter out. So yeah, let's get straight to it. So currently I am doing an oil change, and you can see that I've got pan and it's dripping just a little bit still. So I'm just letting it do its thing and letting it drip out right now. And so if you're wondering where the oil filter is, the oil filter is going to be on the driver's side rear. See that right back there? Yeah, so that's your oil filter. So as you can see, it's a little bit hard to get to. So there's a few things that we can do to make that easier. One of those things is taking off the leveling sensor. See that little bar right there? So that's going to be in the way. You can kind of see the top of it there. See that green? I'm sorry about the way I'm filming this. It's just a very difficult spot. And so when you're trying to deal with this filter, it's a lot easier if we can push this green thing down and a bit out the way. I'm sorry that I don't have a better way of filming this, but it's just such a tight space. But what you can do is you can unclip it from the bottom. It's going to be right just on the other side here, and you'll be able to feel it, and you're going to be able to unclip it. And so what you'll be able to do is push the top of the leveling sensor down, and you'll have a little bit easier access into your filter. So the first thing that we're going to need is a 10mm wrench and a 10mm socket, preferably a little short one because it's a little bit tight down there, so a short one would be nice if you have one. Also in the background here you will see my dad's 67 Mustang where we got a new Curry rear end, and he got some Willwood disc brakes and stuff, so that's what's going on in the background. But we're going to be working on my car here today. So let's get under the car. So when you get down up under the car, you can see through this hole in the frame. I'll kind of show you around just for perspective. Here's my wheel, and so it's like this hole right here, and you'll see the end of the sensor right there. Okay. And so you'll see that it's held together by two nuts, one on the top by the rubber side and one on the other side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick a 10mm wrench and stick it toward the side close to the rubber. And then I'm going to put a ratchet. You can kind of reach around over here and kind of get it connected. And then I'm going to use a ratchet to untighten the left side while I hold the right side still. I guess from this camera angle it looks like the top, the one that's closer to the rubber piece, still with the wrench, and I'm going to loosen up the nut on the opposite side, and that should disconnect this piece. I should be able to get this rod. You see that it's connected to the green all the way in the top there. And I should be able to knock it loose. I should be able to push the green piece down and get it out of the way of the filter. So that was not the easiest thing to film. I know that it was a little tight and the focus wasn't great, but I tried my best, and I think that you guys will get that. So good luck to you guys on that. So I'm going to do that real quick. So the tool that I'm going to be using is this right here. It's made in Germany, and yeah, so this is what's going to fit over the filter. Here is what it looks like, and this piece fits over the filter, and you go over it with a ratchet or a wrench, and you undo the filter. Simple as that. So as you guys can tell, it's a pretty hard to access location back down there, so I think the odds are I'm going to have a very hard time trying to film that. Alright, so I'm going to tell you guys my plan here. So, you know, this piece just goes right onto a ratchet. And so I think this is how I did it last time. Honestly, it's kind of been a little bit. I forget. But, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this onto the filter first, then attach the ratchet, because once it's attached, it's like, it's so tight in there, it's not going to go through. So I'm going to throw this onto the filter and then try and get this thing off somehow. And I've got this bucket over there, and I've got that close by so that when the shit starts pouring out, I got the bucket close by to catch all the oil. And I got this mess over here right now that's just catching the drips, but I want to have this bucket for the oil filter. So here is the old filter compared to the new filter, and what we're going to do with this, so we've got this canister here that I've wiped off pretty clean with a paper towel. Nothing too crazy. I mean, it's just more oil going in there, but kind of wiped up the outsides. And I have everything like genuine Porsche. Like, this is from Porsche of Cincinnati, and so I'm only getting OEM stuff. I mean, I'm not even gonna risk it. But in this canister here, or like around it, I guess, about right here, there's gonna be an O-ring, and so I've got a brand new O-ring right here from Porsche, and so I'm gonna take this thing off real quick. There we go. O-ring is off, and I'm going to put the new one on, which makes sense, doesn't it? And so you should have a new O-ring for the filter here, or like the filter cartridge, I guess. And so you should have one of those. I'm going to kind of put some oil on it. That'll be fine. Wrap that on there. Boom. Alright. Wrapped on there. And then you just drop the new filter in. Just center it. Yeah. Just a little bit of force and it pops in. So, now I've got a clean filter in here. Ain't that cool? This thing's ready to go back on. And then what you should have also in your kit to do a new oil change is a new crush washer for your drain plug. And I've bought like a kit before and it gave me a new drain plug. I don't know if you need to do that, so let me know if you guys know. But I don't see why I'd have to have a new drain plug every time I change the oil. But maybe occasionally I'll change it. But yeah, so have a new crush washer ready as well. So yeah, so I'm going to put this back in. And when you're putting this thing in, I mean, you're just going to have to keep working it and working it. Like, just the same way as when you took it out. So I took it actually over the axle. So I pulled it out. I just kind of wiggled it, and then got it to kind of in this area over the axle. And I was able to pull it out through here. And I was able to get the filter out. So I'm just going to put it in the same way. I'm going to push it in over the axle here and then wiggle it on further and deeper and closer to where the filter should be. So if you guys are interested in more than just the oil filter and you want to see the entire oil change done on this 718 Cayman S, then I recommend you watching this video here. I show you guys all 6 quarts of oil getting put in and what kind of oil I used and just the entire process. Check that link out if you want a more detailed video on the oil change. But yeah, this is just going to be about this oil filter, getting it in, getting it out, and what you do once you get it out. Supercar oil. That's all we're using.
Right? I've never seen that.
Yeah. What do you think supercar oil means?
I think it's fucking for Ferraris and Lamborghinis and cars like we drive.
Yeah, cars like we drive.
Right?
Yeah.
Especially the way we drive, so we should be okay.
Yeah.
Supercar good.
That's what we're filling up with.
Yep.
We've been running 5W40, right?
Right.
So now
5W40.
we're running 0W40.
0W40. Race oil. Race oil. Supercar.
0W40. So, I don't know. Thinner's better, maybe?
I think it's better. For this car, I think it's better.
Yeah.
And this, you know, what's really interesting to me, it almost has a slight gear oil smell. It's got, you can smell the sulfur in the oil. It's very interesting, but I think that's the way to go. I'm gonna actually put this in my Mustang, '67 Mustang. We're gonna run it in this car first, and I'm gonna get me some on order. I like it.
Mine's the guinea pig. Mine's getting tested.
Guinea pig.
This one blows up first.
Right. We'll try the
No,
cheapest car first.
Yeah, but yeah, it'll be cool. I think thinner oil. I think it's okay. I think it's good.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And the owner's manual, it does say, you know, 0W40, 5W40, and 5W50.
Right.
So
I
we
think that
should be
what
all right.
most intrigues me is the smell. It smells like gear oil. It's got a smell of gear oil, but you can tell it's motor oil. And this is advanced synthetic. And from what I understand, this is better for cars that set. Maybe don't get driven all the time. A month or two will go by, and you don't have the corrosive effect of oil just sitting in your crankcase. It's got additives that's supposed to help with that.
Yeah, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll fill up the rest of the, we got what, 2 quarts in?
Yep.
Need 4 more quarts to go.
Yep.
We'll fill it up.
All right, good deal.